Welcome back for another video. FPL's back, no more international breaks this year, and we're heading into one of the funnest parts of the season for me. It's non-stop FPL. Let's have a look at how the team got on last Gameweek, how I'm lining up for Gameweek 12 and the transfer plans this week. So I went into the break on a green arrow thankfully with a score of 62 points. A green arrow rescued by that Haaland to Salah transfer. Despite it being a -4 and despite Strand Larsen blanking, it was still a 6-point gain due to Salah's 14 pointer as captain. In hindsight, perhaps an oversight not to buy João Pedro over Strand Larsen, but I would never have played him against Man City, so those 11 points are off the table either way. I only really briefly considered João Pedro, to be honest, as I needed a forward that will definitely start in Gameweek 12, and I wasn't 100% sure if he'd be eased back in, with a possible bench in Gameweek 12 as well. Doesn't look so likely now, to be fair. Spurs were a huge disappointment. I had high hopes of Porro and Johnson, but Porro conceded, Johnson blanked in that 2-1 shock defeat to Ipswich. Bottling the Fabianski start also proved costly. I really beat myself up about that one. I should have stuck to my guns there. Well done if you played him. I've got a bunch of flags in the team as well, so I need to be careful with my next move. Let's get into the team for Gameweek 12, but let's start with a quick look at your highs and lows of last Gameweek sent in. So Philip up first, who absolutely nailed his captaincy with a 34-pointer from Bruno. He ended up the top scorer last Gameweek. King Mabassa scored a huge 93-point game week, and he said the following: I went from 4.8 million to 2.4 million. It's just what I needed. I took a risk and went for cheap defenders, and I spent everything on premiums and midfielders and attackers. FPL Mango didn't get so lucky and said this one should make it. Finished with 30 points. Just Haaland's goal and Mbumo's assist as the only returns. Fabianski and Mikalenko's returns on the bench. The lowest score in the top 10k was 23 points. It's such a great team on paper as well, with the likes of Trent Palmer, Saka, Foden, Son, Wood. Had an incredibly unfortunate combination of players that all blanked. Another fun one, the most bench points in the top 10k was 33. They had Fabianski's 9-pointer, Bruno's 17-pointer and Robinson's 6 points benched. Despite all that, they're 59th in the world, insane. We'll do a couple more. David Valentine had the biggest score sent in. He said he went Minte to Bruno, he went Watkins to Cunha, and he said, gotta love it when transfers actually pay off. A pity City were a no-show in the second half, otherwise the century was on. He scored 96 points, incredible. Last one, I found a team this morning belonging to Adam Yasser. No transfers made all season, no chips used all season, 820th in the world. Set and forget masterclass. They had Salah permanent captain every game this season. I actually wonder if they just forgot their password though. Anyway, on to the next segment. Let's get into the team for Gameweek 12. So in goal it's Raya, who's playing home against Forest. It's good to see Arsenal back on top of the clean sheet odds, but can they actually keep one? Last season's best defence has now gone 7 games in a row without one. You'd have to go back over 2 months to their most recent clean sheet in the league. They've been given a 52% chance this week for this one. Unless an incredible transfer combination pops up later, and Raya's the only way to free up the money, for me a keeper transfer is far too luxury and I'll be keeping him. So in defence it's Vardy or Gabriel and Lewis. The intention is to keep the Arsenal double up and just commit to it. Now feels like the complete wrong time to be selling Raya or Gabriel anyway, given they've got pretty great long-term fixtures. Things change fast in FPL, even faster when the schedule gets as busy as it's about to. Between the 23rd of November this weekend and the 1st of January there's 8 game weeks over a 39-day period. So that's a new game week every 4.8 days. So I guess there's 2 points I'm actually making there. First of all, it's an opportunity to move up the rankings fast, and secondly, there is time for the Arsenal defence to bounce back quickly. It wouldn't even surprise me if Raya's the top scorer and keeper by the new year, or Gabriel the top defender. My bigger concerns at the back is the Man City double up. I mean, Vardy I'm less concerned about. In fact, he scored again over the international break. He got Croatia's only goal in their 1-1 draw with Portugal. The double up though, plus 2 tough fixtures ahead, plus Lewis's uncertainty for starts is the bigger problem. There's better transfers I can make this week than selling Lewis though, so he'll most likely get one final week in the team before I decide on a replacement for him. In midfield I've got more flagged players than unflagged. It's Salah, Johnson, Palmer and Mbumo and Semenyo. I'll be keeping a very close eye on the injury updates to come. In Palmer's case, I'm confident he's going to be fine, having already been snapped in training for Chelsea. Snapped sounds like he's been crunched in the challenge actually. What I mean is, he's already been photographed training for Chelsea. Colwell was as well by the way if you've got him. He's flagged as well, but he should be fine. Captaincy feels wide open this week. It's going to be interesting to see which way the experts go in Thursday's video. Make sure you subscribe for that. I've gone with Palmer vice and Salah captain. Perhaps Maresca's got an added edge here up against his old team. He knows most of the squad. He knows the areas of weakness and so on. Let us know in the comments who your captain's going to be. Haaland absolutely in the conversation as well, though I've not got him. I think he scored 4 goals and an assist over the break. So, the reason for Semenyo's flag is he withdrew from international duty, and the reason was, quote, patellar tendon injury due to overload of games. The club's medical team thought it was wise to use the break to refer him to a tendon specialist to prevent worsening the injury. You never tell he was playing with an injury, so if he has got one, hopefully it's a minor one, and that 2-week rest will have done him a world of good to be back firing in Gameweek 12. What about Mbeumo's flag then? I know loads of you have got him. Mark Price, the Cameroon manager, said, "We have to finish first in the group since we're already qualified, but we'll give other players a chance because we have some injured players," and he also said Mbeumo is injured. They have already qualified, so there's potential it was actually a rest for Mbeumo in dead rubber games for Cameroon, basically disguised as an injury. So we'll have to see. It wouldn't surprise me at all if all 3 flag players here start this weekend. Johnson is a potential transfer out for me this week. Away at Man City, obviously a very tough fixture. I mean, that said, we have seen Man City can be got out this season due to all the injuries. He may end up staying in the team depending on the updates that we get on the flag players. Salah captain for me this week. If you missed it, he didn't even play for Egypt over the international break, getting 2 weeks off. He's in the form of his life, 7 double-digit returns this season. He's been involved in 66.7% or 2/3 of Liverpool's goals this season as well, which is a higher percentage involvement than any player in the league. Southampton's 23.02 expected goals conceded ranks second worst as well, just behind Ipswich. And further to that, Ramsdale's broken his finger and he's set for a spell on the sidelines. Salah's 8.62 expected goal involvement can only be bettered by Haaland this season, so for me everything points towards Salah captain, but I do like Palmer. So up front it's the Wolves duo, Cunha and Strand Larsen. Cunha's yet to blank since I brought him in. He's perhaps been my best transfer so far, especially that 12-pointer last gaming. Strand Larsen not so much with that 2-pointer against Southampton his first week in the team. On that expected goals conceded table before, Fulham are 4th on that, so it's not going to be an easy game given how well they've fared defensively so far. I would take one return between these two combined in honesty. It's the fixtures after this week that are amazing basically. I had 5.6 mil to spend on a forward to tee up a potential transfer for Gameweek 12, so let's move on to the bench from the transfer plan segment. My bench this week is Fabianski, Wood, Pedro Porro and Greaves. There is a temptation to start Porro over Lewis, who at least know 100% starts, but I'd be counting on an attacking return to be honest, because I can't see a world where Spurs keep one at the Etihad. Who would you start between the two? So I've got 3.5 mil in the bank and I've got one free transfer. My sell price for Johnson is 6.6 million. I've got 3.5 mil in the bank, which is exact money to go Johnson to Saka, so that's the planned move. This one feels like a really obvious move and it gets me to 3 premiums in midfield. Don't sleep on the impact of Odegaard's return, he's been sorely missed. In fact, on his first game back he got that brilliant assist for Martinelli's goal against Chelsea. He occupies those half spaces on the right near Saka, and he can pick up those intricate balls to put Saka through. Now of course Saka's flagged as well, so it all depends on if we hear news on him or see him train him. If any of my flag players are out, I'm also considering Wood to Isak, which I can afford in one move, and then I buy Saka in Gameweek 14 or 15, and that would mean playing Johnson against Man City. Though I'd miss out on playing Wood home to Ipswich, which I don't like. Alternatively, I could buy Saka regardless if he's fit, even if one of my other flag players aren't fit, and I play Wood against Arsenal basically. So anyway, the current plan is Johnson to Saka. Drop a like and hit subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Tomorrow we're going to look at what the top managers in the world are doing this week in the Expert series. See you soon for the next one.